Welcome to another exciting episode of Gem Collectors with Shawn. And I tell you what, working with these two jokers, it's really difficult to start the show without smiling or laughing. And of course, right before I go on, what does Mr. Ossoff have to say? He goes, what did you do? Forget your pocket protector today? I kid you not. I kid you not. Okay, so at least I didn't have everything in my pocket. But then I looked down and of course, let's see, I always get reversed in this thing. So, right there it is. Whoop. Shawn, you'd think you would know right there. See that? After all these years, how to reverse it in a TV camera. But no, that is a little spot of water that he wouldn't give me time to dry. I said, let it dry. Oh no, let's get started. And so there you have it. All right, it should go away with time. Okay, so isn't it an exciting show to start with already? And believe me, you don't want to walk away from a moment of this show. Now, okay, so Dave is still messing with me.
It could be the trivia.
You know what? Anything happens during the show could be the trivia. And we have done some bizarre trivia before. Now, the other week when I did the challenge of naming the mineral specimens back there, granted, you could have had a little bit closer shot, but like I said, you know, people make bids on those storage units only in a moment's notice. They don't get to go past the front door and they can't move anything. They just get a quick look and then have to bid. I think that's pretty neat, pretty interesting, because, you know, there are amazing things you can find in those storage units. Having had several over the years, I'm thinking if anyone would have come away, you know what? They would have gotten away with some rocks, and to them, that would have been a really bad score. But let me tell you, this is the circle of geology, let's call it. All right, my jewelry store. And Elisa actually, we'll talk about that in a moment, but because Elisa actually had been my brother's jewelry store. So anyway, who I actually got started in the passion of being a goldsmith. I'd already been doing it for many years. I taught him how to cabochon stones. He never really got into faceting, but we'll discuss that in a moment. But so, you know, what kind of goes around comes around. So with my jewelry store, and in the big city of Atlanta, there's not another really rock shop. So when someone that's a rock hound or whatever passes away, what do? You know, they inherit grandma, grandpa's, maybe their father's mineral collection, whatever the connection may be, uncles. Sometimes it passes down a generation, all the boxes get moved, no one cares about it, and in the end, it's just a bunch of boxes meaningless to the person. So I had the reputation of being a antique and estate jewelry store in a really nice part of an estate district in Chamblee. And so from all the pawn shops, all the jewelry stores, I got the referrals that if you had any rocks or minerals, that I would actually pay money for them. Because other than that, if someone was to buy a box of rocks, I mean, you have to give dollars. I mean, like, you know, you would do really well if you got 2 figures in money for whatever it is you might have. Yet you might have something of great value. Because I recognized the value, which was probably a downside to it, I would actually pay money, whereas the client would have never gotten any money for items. So every now and again, there'd be a real treasure in there that would slip through, you know, go on unnoticed. And I even won't even say every now and again, pretty often. And one of those amazing deals happened with that gem silica that you have seen me bring in pieces over the years. And at the time, that estate went so far back, it was even before gem silica really hit the market as something of value and rarity. So it was just something that not a lot of money was traded hands for. And here's the thing. By buying the rocks and minerals from them and actually paying money, they got more money than they would have ever had by anybody else. So, and here's the other thing. When you are talking about some of these estates, the people literally had a cargo van or a pickup truck or a whole trunk of these things. If you're a true rock hound, you don't just collect a couple rocks and minerals. No, you have a bit of a fever and you don't stop collecting every rock you want. Some things, I mean, you ought to see, I have these aluminum boxes that are full of leverites. Now, of course, I think all of you know what a leverite is by now, a very rare rock, only collected by very, very few. And it takes the less knowledge you have, the greater chance it is that you're gonna get a leverite and you're gonna find one. You ask, what is a leverite? Well, you leave it right where you found it. Simple as that. Leverite. And it was the easiest way that I could often tell so many people that what they thought they had was a real treasure was something that they should have just left it on the ground where it was found. And it was a great way to burst a balloon that had been built up in their mind, like mica. Mica becomes gold over time in someone's head, and on and on. So, yeah, I wound up over time with mostly yard rocks, you know. I have collections of fossils that really just belong in a school and probably will wind up there in time, or outside. I have a real rock garden. And though I did a service because I actually gave these people an outlet that they made them feel good that their family members' rocks just, you know, weren't thrown back into on the ground or get nothing for. I would honor the collection, and they'd walk away with money and very happy. And my point was this: when they had so many rocks, I didn't have time to go through each rock. Time is money. I'm operating a jewelry store, so you know what? I'd take a quick glance through everything and then just throw out a price, and it was one of those, you know, take it or leave it. And I don't think they ever didn't take the money. Whatever the amount was, it was more than they knew they would ever get anywhere else. And plus, you already loaded up all these rocks and minerals. What are you going to do? Go home and unload them, you know? Like I said, by buying like that, maybe you find something, maybe you don't, and you just play the odds that in time it'll make up for it and you'll find something really neat. So by doing that, I have all kinds of neat and unusual rocks that, yeah. So we have a great show today. This estate I'm working with and items I'm bringing out of my own personal collection is going to give you an amazing variety of really amazing items at crazy inexpensive prices. Now, I have gotten back from Christy and Kevin in inventory a batch of inventory that I had over the holidays shown. Now, you know, they're not holding the memos open as long like we used to do 5 and 6 weeks, which was too long. If you're going to buy something, you usually buy it within 1 or 2 weeks of seeing it at the most. So to keep a memo open for 3 or 4 weeks is plenty long enough. And even on some of this jewelry, we're going to shorten it a little bit more, because if you're going to, you usually know and have your mind made up within 2 weeks at the most on these kind of items. There's a batch of items that I had shown that I have no idea, maybe none of you watched the show. The shows were confusing. They were posting on different days, and they were skipped another time I was ill. So it was a real erratic time. And I'm thinking that broken up schedule really caused you to miss viewing some of these items. So I'm going to re-showcase some of those. The pricing on all of these items, unless there's some little trinket or something, some fun item, isn't going to be any lower. They are factored right down to the bottom. I did see that somebody got that amazing 18 karat emerald ring, and I am really, really excited for that person. They got a incredible, incredible value and opportunity on that. But I have that Australian emerald ring that no one bought. It was one of the best and most unusual items in the batch. We'll re-showcase that today. Let's get on to the comments so we can get on to the items. Okay, so let's see. We had the two trivia questions. Question one was, plum jade is a mixture of jade and other minerals. What other material, the main other material, is in plum jade? Which, of course, if you've done enough of your homework, plum jade, oh, I used to sell so much of it in carvings and all kinds of forms here a decade ago. And I've been here at Gem Shopping for like 14, 15 years, something like that. So long history, and I've sold so many wonderful, beautiful, beautiful pieces over time. Plum jade, so I'm familiar with so many unique pieces from around the world. What other material, upwards of, usually it's around a 50-50 mixture between a nephrite jade and silica quartz. Yep, quartz is the other primary ingredient. So you have to remember that jade is often a rock. Remember we talked about the Mount Sit, that Mount Sit, as much as unglamorous as it may sound, but it is a rock. It's one of the most beautiful and rarest, especially in the color, like that bracelet I sold, that really fine color. The value of those pieces, and that was an older estate piece. You can't get that really good color unless you pay exorbitant prices. Now most of the material is like a limey green, but it's made up of a chromium jadeite, of a cosmochlor, which is another member in the family. It can be made up of chlorite in it. In other words, a rock, 3 or more minerals. So plum jade, high percentage of silica. Couple of good things about that: it allows it to take a great polish at times, and keeps it very stable. So that's the answer there. Question number 2, to be called a rhodolite garnet. Now this was an easy one, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. What 2 garnets are present to be called a rhodolite garnet? And those 2 types of garnets, and remember we talk about all the time how the garnets intermingle, well, they are pyrope and almandine. And they usually say that around 30% of the almandine, in other words, the iron garnet, commingles with pyrope, which is a magnesium garnet, and brings you a rhodolite. And they have a specific gravity, but it's a range because of the variance. They have a refractive index for rhodolite, but all the rhodolites that I've checked, that range, 1.75, 1.76, it varies. Of course it's going to vary. It varies depending on the percentage of the other garnets, and even potentially other members as well, like Malaya garnets. Malaya garnets can be made up of 3 and 4 other garnets. Molly garnets, that beautiful yellow garnet, can be made up of upwards of 4 different commingled garnet family members. So I love the fact that garnet is my birthstone, and of course, being born on my father's birthday, his birthstone as well. So it was great to share that stone together. And as a matter of fact, today, which, remember, I'm shooting and filming on a Thursday, and you get to see the show on a Monday. So when I say today, it really means Thursday for me. But if you recall, my baby sister passed away. Her birthday was January 19th. If today's the 19th. And so anyway, I was just thinking about her, and it's been a wild couple years. Now, to cover the mess, tomorrow I have the people that pack up items. And this, so let me tell you a quick cute story. So this storage, this packing expert lady, right? So the insurance company, for those of you that didn't watch, my pipe burst, flooded the basement. It went along in between the wall and the upper floor, which now, moisture, mustiness, terrible mess. So the insurance people take a picture of our living room. Remember, we've talked about my living room before. Because they come in and they literally pack everything up and move it, and then they change out the carpet and put everything back. Just on the 3-piece credenza alone, I did a quick kind of per square foot number of items and then kind of multiplied it out across the table. So I went to try to tell her, of course, I don't have any experience in packing these items or anything, right? You know, having moved them 5 different homes and done this for livings and, you know, for 5 decades or so. But so I try to tell her what's a quick, easy way to do it. You get a big roll of bubble wrap and you start with it unrolled, and you just line them up, roll it, line them up, roll it. Now, what I'm talking about, most specimens are 2 to 3 inches mostly, and they're crystal specimens, and they're not like wire hair type crystals or anything. They can be done that way, and that way you just, you know, line them up, roll it, and at the end you just take a big piece of tape and go around the whole thing, and they are locked in tight. They don't bump into each other, and it works. You use the small bubble wrap. I started to tell her, man, she didn't want to hear anything. She knew better. So I am going to watch, and of course I wanted Raven there because we got people cleaning out the bottom. I am going to watch her hand wrap, which I think the direction is that she is going. Hand wrap every one of them. And on the credenza alone, maybe 600 specimens. That's just on the credenza. Other items, though, we understand we'll move, that we don't want her touching or anything else. There are so many others. I'm just going to watch. It doesn't matter to me. They do. It's all part of the deal. They know what they're doing, right? Yeah. Oh, they pack people's homes all the time with these kind of items, you know? Rock hounds, hoarder rock hounds. Yeah, I'm sure it's a regular thing that they work with. We shall see. Oh, that's going to be fun. Okay, so those were the questions. Let's get to everybody's comments now. All right. That was last week. Here we go. Sue in Texas. Listen to what Sue says. Now, remember, Sue in Texas is the one that was excited to be able to get that 1/4 carat diamond that she said that she priced one a number of years ago, and it was $600, which, yeah, actually $600, which is probably a stone that's $800 to $1,000 now. Mine, the one I showcased and featured, was a beautiful diamond, as Miss Sue recognized it to be. Now, granted, I don't know why I priced it so low, but you got a deal, $188. And this is her comment. The gorgeous 0.25 carat diamond arrived today, Friday, January 13th, which is apparently a lucky day for me. I wouldn't have had a problem at all with you saying this diamond was F in color. So beautiful. Thank you, and happy birthday, Shawn. That's my birthday present to you. How's that? And you're right. You're right. And I had already covered the fact that, I usually give a range of, instead of saying, oh, it's just a G, like GH. And I'm very, very conservative. And I think I also said that in all the pieces that we've sold over so many years, there's not been one single item that quality control, which are the, graduate gemologists, have said to me, we don't think that this is the color you're stating or the clarity you're stating. And we think it's such and such. There's not ever been a single one, because I make sure and I undershoot the color. I could have probably put FG for the range, but no, I wanted to make sure it was to your expectations or better. And the fact that it is, you think it's an F, I fully believe that it probably is easily in the top 3. Which is the investment grade category for color, the DEF. So I am glad that you are thrilled. The clarity is beautiful. The dimensions are exactly what they should be. And for $188, that is less than what I could ever replace it for from any connection I would have. So I'm glad you recognized it for the bargain it is. And the magic of this show, Miss Sue, means that it was brought to you by the universe intentionally and at the right price at the right time. You just waited and it came to you. So, good job. I'm glad you are happy with it. Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. Wow, wow, wow. Some show this week. Wonderful jewelry and gems. Wish I had more money. Love the comments from everyone also. Loved Gabby's Christmas tree. Trivia, answer, silica, which is quartz, that's correct. Pyrope and almandine, that's correct as well. Take care of yourself and have a wonderful week, everyone. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Favorite item of the show? The lavender, Burma, jadeite, and amethyst ring. Love those colors. Very good. Hey, it's nice seeing you again, and is making my night. Hey there, Shawn and lovely Raven. This is, of course, from Harry, if you can't already tell. And all the GSN gang, and all my sisters and brothers in Stones. What a week. I sent Shawn a separate email. My sister's completing her chemo. So remember his sister, Susan. Chemo, and she had her series of CT scans to view the results. And I was so elated for her. She got an awesome, just about total destruction of all the cancer, except for some itty-bitty ones on her lung they will watch. And she mentioned in church Sunday of getting them zapped by radiation. So, yay, big thanks from the Nelson family to all of you for your thoughts and prayers. So appreciated. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy. Happy, 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 joy. Now, for Harry to know this, I kind of makes me wonder, Harry. Maybe you've been behind that bench a little long there. But lyrics by Ren and Stimpy. I at least do know who they are, and I don't know if I sang it in the right tone though.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy.
Wow. Okay, there you have it. Where else could you find such an interpretation on such a level of understanding as from Asif himself to be, you know what that tells you? That tells you he has kids. Oh yeah, he's got a passel full of little smart ones too. He's got a.
I remember that from my childhood.
He remembers that from his childhood. That's scary. I gotta say that I have never watched the full Ren and Stimpy episode. I have only caught glimpses of it as I walked by when Summer was a little girl and she had Ren and Stimpy on. Not that, now, you know what? I mean, I have to hand it to you. There is a great humor in, oh my gosh, I am going to forget it. I'm going to blame it on COVID. The little guy that lives underwater, SpongeBob. You know what? That show is funny for little kids, but once you have a higher level of understanding as an adult, there is a undertone of adult humor in that show that is awesome. So, believe it or not, I am a SpongeBob fan. What can I say? Ren and Stimpy, yeah, that was great. That was great. I think you definitely carried the tone better than I did. Let's see. So here he goes on. Happy birthday, Shawn. Woohoo! Yeah, no, I'm not a big diamond guy, but I knew that quarter carat diamond was worth way more than $188. Awesome guy, awesome guys on the little Picto. Nice. You're under arrest. I love what you said about your Raven, that she dresses around her jewelry. Way cool. Yeah, actually, she's been told that she ought to have her own little, like, you know, influencer show, a little podcast show. And she has so much jewelry and so many clothes that she really does. Today it's I saw her before I saw the jewelry, and she had purples on and lavenders. And I said, is it an amethyst day? She goes, yep. And so she had incredible amethyst. So, yeah. Well, I did get the pink tourmaline. Man, I really thought it would be ruby and zoisite. Green calcite, huh? Bummer. That's regarding the specimens that trying to figure those out. The kyanite blades were in a different position because I said before you did tonight watching that it was kyanite, and it's because of the positioning of specimen. I mean it. LOL. I believe you, Harry. Sure, I believe you. Definitely, if you have the capacity, do the rock shop. Oh, I know. I have to have something magical from the universe for that to come about. But you never know. It could happen. Then, Harry writes, Massachusetts, not Pennsylvania. No. I guess I messed up and said Pennsylvania. It was from Pennsylvania again. There's no rivalry between you two guys or anything, is there? It came back to me because I remember you said 1 in 10, which was different to me at least, and I don't work with diamonds. You should fashion a nice ruby tooth cap. LOL. Don't feel bad. I had all my top teeth pulled out and can just about afford my stupid dentures. Hey, ask Asif what the heck is $1 million diamond to swallow or almost got swallowed. 10 carat, 20 carats, huh? And we lift each other up. Iron sharpens iron. Wow, that's words to live by. Yes, a big David Paulides fan. 411, missing the UFO connection. New movie, awesome. I think with Harry, you have to talk in code a little bit. And his other movies, 411 The Missing and 411 The Hunted, and all his books he wrote. Awesome guy. Thanks for that mention. Beautiful job on that setting for that big trapeze type shaped topaz. You know, that incredible Swiss one? It sold. Someone found it to be the bargain that it was. Absolutely. Wow, you did an awesome job on that gold. Nice job, Shawn. Crazy stone. Crazy wow. Trivia, yay. 1, other part is part of plum jade is silica quartz. Number 2, rhodolite garnet and almandine. So there you go, Skippy. Have yourself a nice week. Much love from my family to yours. Peace. Harry in Massachusetts. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello all. Happy birthday, Shawn. I know it's a bit anticlimactic, but you always have the memories of your pops, and you're dropping a line in the water. Yeah, my favorite picture of him is, I guess I'm probably 8 or 9, and I don't have a shirt on, and my dad doesn't either, and we're on the beach. We each are holding our fishing pole, and everybody in the family has that picture because it says it all. And in Sarasota, it's a gamble. It can be warm and pleasant in January, or it can be miserably cold. But I do remember one of our favorite places, because we'd hit several in the entire day of fishing that we would go. It was the old Bradenton Bridge. So it was a bridge that went over the bay. And this is when the bridges were made out of wood. So the entire bridge was wood. Well, eventually they replaced them in concrete. So they cut the bridges in half and usually then create a fishing pier out of them, and that's what this was. And at the end of the pier, there was like a little food stand and their version of a bathroom. And I will never forget this, but you know, when it was time to been drinking too many sodas because it was my birthday, so yeah, sure, son, go use the restroom. The restroom was literally a hole about this wide, easily for an 8 or 9-year-old boy. It cut into the pier, and you're looking straight down into the water between the pylons. And who knows what's down there? You're at the end of the pier, the deeper water. And you stand there as a little boy, and all I'm thinking is I could fall right through that hole. And my dad is not next to me. Where's my dad? Well, there really wasn't that much room, but still, he could have been close by. He was, way down the pier, making sure the line, he didn't miss a big one. I will never forget that. I guess it was like a learning lesson on how to make sure you aim and don't fall down in the hole that you're aiming at. And yeah, it was a great memory because I survived it. I liked his so that's one of the memories, you're right. So I have wonderful memories. I'm going to try to focus on those and only tell the ones that make me smile and laugh so that emotions don't turn around and go another direction on me. Okay, so Anthony says, that's what it's about, not the fish you might catch, but the time spent. We always had a bet. It was $1 on the first one, $1 on the most that you caught, $1 on the biggest fish, $1 on the most species of fish, and let's see, there was one more dollar, because I remember joking that if we were getting skunked towards the end of the day and neither of us had caught anything, it was anybody try to catch any fish, because one fish would take all the bets, and it was like $5, okay? $5, I would say, in 19, well, I was born in 1961, so anywhere from 1968, 69, 70, in that era, that was big money, $5 to catch one fish when you're getting skunked the rest of the day. And so I would kind of go for the little tiny pinfish, because all it would take would be one fish. And he didn't think that was fair, but he'd turn over that $5, begrudgingly though, begrudgingly. Great times. Anthony says that's what I call my pops too, referring to pops. That's what my son calls me, and that's what I call my dad. It's very endearing feeling. Good seeing the Raven. Curious, the room the three women were in, was that a studio? It looked like a castle. Beautiful room. The Christmas tree Miss Gabby has is the coolest. Little note there on the castle room there. Glad you thought it was so, Anthony. Nothing but the best for our girls, right? Huh? Nothing but the best here at Gem Shopping Network. Castle. I was totally fooled. Let's see, I think only my very first Zoom call. And actually, Asif was in on it with me. My very first Zoom call ever. Only happened, a year ago or so? And it was with Miss Susan, who all of you know, before she retired. And so she was retiring down to a lake community. So in the Zoom call, she has this backdrop behind her. She's sitting in the living room, and it is absolutely beautiful. And through the windows, there's the lake, and it's like, wow, I need your job. So I asked her about that, and she goes, oh, yeah, I just picked that one. I thought it was pretty, too. And meaning that for Zoom calls, you can pick whatever backdrop. This was I didn't know. You pick any backdrop you want. So she picked a backdrop. Now, granted, the castle was not a backdrop from a computer. It was, something along those lines, but it wasn't computer generated. let's just say it was tapestry oriented. Let's see, so, okay. Anthony goes on, I scored the mixed turquoise ring. First real snow fell this morning, about 3 inches. Ooh, that would have been nice. Trivia, Plum Jade has a mix of jade minerals like silica, rhodolite garnet, and pyrope and almandine. He has for rhodolite. Well done there. Eyes down, he says. Harry says, do you do rhodium plate? I have a friend that has a 5mm 24-inch Figaro gold filled and a 5mm 24-inch Cuban gold filled and wants both heavy rhodium coating so don't have to deal with the tarnishing anymore. If so, shoot me an email back. Okay, here's the thing, Harry, real quick. All right, you say that they are gold filled. So by meaning gold filled, if you say gold filled, that means there's just a coating of gold over a base metal. Now, if it's gold over silver, then it's called vermeil, and that is going to act and react differently. For one thing, if you have expensive rhodium mixture, do not ever put anything else in it that is a base metal. You will destroy the rhodium. You will absolutely contaminate the rhodium with other metal ions that should not be in there, and don't ever do anything that is not a precious metal. Secondly, on chains, let's say you have a silver chain and you want to gold plate it. Well, because of the way the links are and the way the movement against each link, even on a heavy plating, it is never going to be satisfactory. The plating that is required, and the only way it's done, is these chains have to be polished, really, really a high polish. Same thing if you're rhodium plating over silver, over sterling silver, which you see done a lot now. So they bring them to a really high polish, then they have an industrial rhodium plating unit that can plate the entire length of the chain at the same even current and ampage to get the plating even and to get it so it doesn't come out like a foggy color, which can happen with rhodium. Basically, don't even try to rhodium plate chains. I have done it so many times. Done it by meaning attempted to do it. You can have some success if the chain is really high polished, and that success doesn't last because of the wear that you get in the chain. Often, because of the chain, it won't plate right in between where the two links touch each other. You can't get plating behind them, so you have to move that chain multiple times. It's just work, work, work. And in the end, after all that work, if it does not come out beautiful and shiny, what do you have? How are you going to strip all that off and make it look back to its original state? It is a real effort that it's not worth doing. So chains that are plated are best done in an industrial environment and not something that the home or the professional goldsmith should do. This is a factory commercial process. That's what I recommend. And to redo that process, back to the gold filled or base metals, don't even put it in your rhodium plating solution. You will contaminate it. Also, make sure your anode and cathode are set up the right one to the right piece, because if you have it in reverse, boom, you'll contaminate your solution in a matter of moments on something that big and heavy. So yes, I do lots of rhodium plating, and I know what doesn't rhodium plate. Chains are one of them. Miss Elisa says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rockhounds. That was such an awesome show this week. I don't even know where to start, but I want to say I love your tree, Miss Gabby. Congratulations on the win, Miss Barbara and Miss Penny. Another lesson for me to stop second-guessing myself. My answers to this week's questions are silica, pyrope, and almandine. What? Miss Elisa, you probably had the right answers and second-guessed yourself, and, you know, Go with well, they always usually say your first answer is usually the more correct answer. So have confidence in your answers. I just wanted to say to the very lovely Raven, I understand why you would not want to be on camera, but the ice has been broken and you can't go wrong when you are already loved. I read this to her this morning, by the way, Miss Elisa. You made wonderful points here. Maybe start small and just join at the end to ask the trivia question. I think that's a great suggestion. Asif, you are so funny with the grill photos. One last thing, Shawn, I've been in your brother's shop. It is so cool, and how could you not be a tad jealous? The place looks like you are in an actual mine. That's all for now. Take care, everyone, and have a great week. Elisa. Okay, all right, since you brought it up, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I have an older brother by about 2 years, Miner's Emporium. So, you know, all my life I wanted my own jewelry store, and I had taken him off of doing roofing in Florida. He was the black sheep of the family. He was going to wind up in jail. He was you know, had a lot of spirit, and which often led him astray. So I actually took him off a roof in Florida, brought him up to Tennessee, where I was working in a trade shop, and he was my first employee that I was manager of. I later ended up to be manager of 8 other employees at the age of 21. And only my skill in being able to fix these other goldsmiths that had decades of experience beyond me with huge egos, but every goldsmith makes an error. And it is the ability to fix that error is what really shows how much competence and talent and skill you have. So I earned my place by the time of 21 and respect by all these other goldsmiths when I had to fix their errors. Like one melted out the top of a platinum estate piece, and I mean filigree, and melted it out. Well, I put a plate in there, resawed out all the platinum, redid the mill grain, and I spent hours doing it. And the next morning when he came in, I had the ring sitting on his bench to see it, and he actually cried. He thought he was going to get fired for what he did, and instead I spent and fixed it. And from then on, there was not an ego power play struggle between us anymore. And that's how you have to earn your place. You have to earn the respect from the others, and then with that comes the ability to have the authority over that it takes to manage a bunch of very ego-driven, which comes with the trade, what comes with being an artist, is that ego that, you know, I'm talented, I'm better than you, and you're only 21, I've been doing this decades longer than you, yada, yada, yada. Tell me more and I'll be fixing the piece for you next week. So, and also the fact that these jewelers, if they scratched a stone with a file, which happens, what did they do? They don't know how to fasten or cut. They'd have to come to me to polish out their errors, and I'd still do that to this day for many other goldsmiths, because it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to make an error, and you're going to take that file against the stone without thinking and create scratches across it by filing a prong or another slip of a sanding disc. So that was my place. So with my brother, I brought him up, I taught him how to do goldsmithing and then sizing rings and along the way. Well, as time would have it, I left, I came down to Georgia and started doing work at the Galleria there for all the people that worked there. And my brother, he quits where we had been working in East Tennessee, takes off for Rocky Mount and opens a jewelry store way before me. Level of talent, way less than I, but he had he had the gumption to do it, and he did it, and so of course it inspired me. It took me a little bit longer. I opened up the kind of store, Miss Elisa, that I had, of course, was a high-end. As you see, you've been in his store, you see that it is due to demographics in the area that he opened it. Isn't the kind of place that you sell high-end jewelry. So mine was, and I also sold some beautiful antiques in the store as well, and mineral specimens also. But his idea of building out part of the store as a mine, oh, it's amazing, it looks great. And and he's been there for decades. And so that's really neat that you stopped in and saw it. And if you're ever in there again, say you know his brother. And we're really close. He ended up with big saws and all the cool equipment long before I did. But it's funny, he had a lot of the cool equipment, but the knowledge kind of had to catch up to the equipment. I just talked to him the other day. He needed some little emeralds and that I had, and yeah, that's neat that you saw that, because not many people wind up in a little Rocky Mount, North Carolina kind of place. But he's been there for decades and raised a couple of wonderful kids, and yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool you went there. Okay. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn said that there's a picture of Dalen Hargrave's white stone that reminds me of the amethyst ring. Enjoy. So I looked at the picture from him, and yeah, that cutting of that stone, very similar to that amethyst ring I showed last week, which I noticed somebody bought. Why not? That amethyst ring in 14 karat gold was $188. That designer cut stone alone was probably and would probably sell for that much alone. Miss Barbara also says, hello, Professor Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Belated happy birthday. Thank you for the lovely jade and coral trivia prize. I will get the character translated by my Chinese friend. You know what the younger generation showed me? That you can take a picture of something, and then you can go to this little magnifying glass, and it's called Google Find or something like that, and hit it, and it will look for all in its vast world, look for all other pictures that look like the picture that you took. And it only took moments, because I was looking up something else, and to find what I was looking for. So they did the same thing when we were looking at this estate on a Chinese symbol, and it pulled up all these symbols and told exactly what it meant. So if you want quick and easy without relying on anyone else, just take that picture, hit that little button, and boom. The things we can learn from the younger crowd when it comes to those type of items. Laughed out loud at the Diamond Grills. Are you kidding? Swallow one of those gems and you'll be straining poop for a week. Hey, just reading what she wrote. Read, but you would be, wouldn't you? The flowers on your serpentine carving look like peonies. That's what Raven also said. She worked in a flower store for, what's it called, a flower boutique for like 10 years, so she really knows her flowers as well. You know, flower child, hippie girl. As to the trivia, plum jade, mixture of quartz, silica, and rhodolite garnets, mixture of pyrope and almandine. I'll keep this short. You have more time to show goodies. Stay safe and healthy and all, Barbara in Brooklyn. Yeah, so we're talking about one of the things that my brother first did. He had a big sign in his window that says, "We set diamonds in gold teeth." That's what started that conversation. And he said he set a lot of them, you know, in the teeth, and then the teeth is inserted into the mouth. But it became an issue when the question of insurance came up later and whatnot, and he quickly took that sign down and didn't do work on any more TVs. Probably pretty wise. Miss Penny and Mahalis, her wonderful going into 7th grade son. Hello, Shawn, Raven, Lateef, Asif, Dave, GSN crew, and fellow Rockhounds. I hope everyone is well. Trivia, Plum Jade, getting all the answers right there. Thanks for another great show. Love the silver bracelets. Miss Gabby's tree is stunning, and even though I don't want a Christmas tree up all year long, that is one that I might consider leaving up. I already know I would. Raven and I both said, wow, we still have our Christmas tree up. We like it. I turn the lights on in the evening. I don't know. There's something soothing about it, and get to enjoy it longer. And you know, we always cut and get a live one. And it was a Leland cypress this year, so we really like it. A couple years ago, we couldn't even afford to have a tree, so it was nice to have it, and we're still enjoying it. So one like Miss Gabby's, with those incredible ornaments of mineral specimens, oh yeah, that would be up all year long. Shawn, thank you very much for the little parcel of diamonds. I'm very surprised but extremely pleased to get the prize, particularly since I only got 2 out of 3 correct. Miss Penny was the one that got the most answers right on the mineral contest that we had. Since it's another late night, this will be short and sweet, I hope. Mahalis attends an immersion school, 1 day French, 1 day English, and the 5th day is split. Yesterday, during science class, his French teacher was talking to them about fulgurite, what it is, how it forms, etc., since he has some. He and Mahalis chit-chatted a little because Mahalis also has some and is familiar with it since I have bought a couple from you. The same teacher asked them a "what am I" question. Mahalis didn't remember all the questions to tell me, but he answered sapphire. He even gave that answer to his friend, and that was the right answer. I asked how he knew, and he said, "You keep talking to me about all this stuff," so I remembered. You meaning his mom. Isn't that awesome? Despite him pretending, all my talking doesn't fall on deaf ears. No, it doesn't. And they're little sponges. They absorb so much information and retain it so much better. I think we've heard from pretty much all the regulars, but we haven't heard anything from Miss Ursula in a while. I hope you are well, Miss Ursula. Yeah, Miss Ursula. George, where's George? I want to hear back from George. Of course, he's our geologist. I know he comes and goes. But Miss Ursula, I worry about that, and there's been some others that we haven't heard from that were older, and so yeah, Miss Ursula, or please give us a ring. We are worried about you. That is it for now. Have a great week. See you on Monday, Penny and Mahalis. Charles in Oregon. Ciao, Professor Shawn, GSN crew and Rock Family. Thank you, Professor Shawn, for telling us about your petrified wood fireplace project. It sounds really cool. I would love to see a picture. I have always dreamt of doing tile work or mosaics using rocks that I find. After much consideration, I have decided on a pentagonal tessellation for my first attempt. See pic. Okay, so everybody, if you want to look up something and learn a new word, Tessellation, kind of like constellation except tessellation. For my first attempt, that is a pretty big first attempt. I am trying and working with different slab thicknesses. The tiles are preformed on the arbor and finished in the tumbler. Projects like these are so much work, but so rewarding. With love, Charles, getting both answers right as well. All right, well, Charles, I looked at that picture of a tessellation, and wow, that is indeed a big hunk of rock to bite off for your first project. I would love to see how that progresses for you on that. All right, so assigned a number to everybody who got the answer right and pulled a number out of the hat. And this week we have Anthony. Anthony in Massachusetts. Congratulations, you're the winner. Let's show you what you have won. And 2 actually different items this week, which are, I think, perfect. Items that always wind up to be perfect for the particular person winning them. This is green agate. Green agate, yellow agate as well. No, green agate. And look at this. These are matching cabs, so much so that you can actually put them together like an Oreo. And look at that. Have a double-sided cab. They are absolutely perfectly identically cut, which is pretty neat for it to do that way. If you actually drill through both like that, you can actually have these that kind of swing back and forth as a pendant. I don't know, do some different things with them. But anyway, 2 big matching natural color green agate, which you don't often see. And then Bitonite. I love this stuff. Bitonite, named after the first name for Ottawa, Canada. And this was rough, and I picked it out of a big aluminum, like a wash bin. And it was just by the scoop, or if you picked it was a different price. I got it by the scoop. The quality is stunning. So I tumbled them, and you can see almost all of these are facet grade quality, large size. If you want to cut some incredible, clean, nice big feldspars, well, here it is. It is a a beautiful material. It took a wonderful, wonderful tumble as far as the polish goes. And there's a lot of good facet grade material to work with there. And if nothing else, you can create a little display with the agates and the tumbled stones around it and have something quite attractive. All right, we're gonna put those away and we'll be right back for the start of the show. Okay, this is a beauty. Now, I am so surprised, well, not about this yet, because we haven't seen if you bought it or not yet, but African tiger eye, well, look at the quality of it. Look at the quality of it. And just as cute as can be, you can see from the size of my hand, $18, only $18. Now, let me reach back here behind me, because remember I told you at the beginning in my commentary that I was so surprised that some items did not show throughout the holidays. And they didn't show. I'm going to think that maybe some of you just didn't catch the show on the right day, because the shows were popping up on the different days. I was ill one day and there wasn't a show in a week. It was really, really discombobulated, if I may say so myself. So I'm going to re-showcase some of those items, because I think for them not having sold, that maybe nobody showed up. Let's look at item 1085622, or maybe the right person that the item was meant for wasn't there, and so the universe reserved the right for it to be re-showcased on the for the correct person to get it. 1085622 gets you this. Look at this. Okay, so little duck, big duck. Look at how beautiful those two are together. I mean, you know, what an incredible display that would make. So this is big, this is huge, and this is out of rhodonite. Canadian rhodonite, which is a tremendous, tremendous carving material, and I love the way this is mixed in with the matrix as well. And okay, so this is something, the other thing. Okay, so rhodonite is a calcium manganese silicate, all right? And a new mineral you can add to your collection, because the other material that is associated with this is something that is called Johanssonite. And it's part of the pyroxene group, and it's a calcium magnesium, a calcium manganese silicate as well, just a different combination of the number of elements associated with it. It was named after Albert Johansson, the University of Chicago petrologist. And so what a very cool piece to have. And look at the polish on this, a tremendous polish, a great size, and the price on this, it was only $38. So $38 and then $18 for this, but this is so much more rare. Look at the different size. Look how beautiful they would look together. I'm just saying that I was real surprised to see that the rhodonite duck did not sell. I thought for certain that it would. Carvings like that are just really difficult to come by. $38 for something that beautiful and large. So I hope that it finds a home this time around, because I am really surprised that it didn't the first time around. Now, let's go to something else that is item number 1098423. 1098423. And here we have, look at this. All right, now, look at that. Look at that tiger eye, except, okay, this is a really rare color when you have that blue. You often, of course, in the tiger eye, you have crocidolite, which creates that pattern. Now you can see that eye going right through this material, and as you can see it right there too. So it's not a, it's a material that is related and associated with the quartz for that eye to, or for the tiger's eye effect. Look at that, to still go over and travel through it. So this is, blue crocidolite is a rare color for crocidolite and very desirable. And to have well, I would call that a pot-bellied pig. That looks like what the pigs were around here that people made pets of. And he's just as cute as can be. I know people that actually collect just pig carvings, and that would certainly be a wonderful one to have in your collection. Price on this guy, only $21. $21, no kidding. Okay, now let's look at item 1098223. 1098223. And look at this cute little guy. Look at this. Now, yep, 109, let me see. 1098223. And you can see the size of this relative to the pig. You can have a nice collection of farm animals. Now, I looked at this, I said, okay, for simplicity, I'm going to call it a duck. But, I mean, some of you are going to say, well, that's not a duck, that's a loon. It could be a loon, it could be a loon. It could be also, in Florida, we had those cormorants that would dive and always chase off the fish I was trying to catch. And they would have a lot better luck than I did. But yeah, so there's a lot of other water birds that could look like that. The bill doesn't exactly look like a duck, but hey, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a cormorant. But look at the eye. Look at the eye drilled all the way through. You know what that allows you to do real easily is to put a gemstone in the eye. Or you can run a piece of metal all the way through that's just long enough that it creates a really beautiful reflective gold, like a gold wire. That's all it would take. And then you have a really neat gold eye. So think out of the box. You can create something really beautiful with something. Oh, price on this, $11. $11. All right, so I don't want to see that something like that is not sold. Let's look at item 10986. 1098623. You have no idea how many items I have here before me that I want to get to you and show you. So, all right. Everybody is familiar with the look that I'm going to show you. It is an ancient symbol, yin and yang. And so this is Myanmar jadeite. Now, I went ahead and used Myanmar instead of Burma because Myanmar is the new and accepted name that is not related to the British Empire. The British Empire, of course, renamed all these countries. Sri Lanka became Ceylon, etc. Mumbai became Bombay, and so now they've gone back to all these original names. So Myanmar is fine, but when you associate things with jadeite, often people don't even know what Myanmar is, but they know where Burma is. So anyway, I'm saying Myanmar with the caveat, in addition that Myanmar is the same country as Burma. Look at this. Okay, so the yin and yang symbol, it often will have a circle of the opposing color right here and right here that is also added to it, but this expresses the intent just the way it is. Now, this is a 14 karat gold frame around it, and the symbol, the yin and yang symbol, is a symbol of harmony and balance. It's all about duality, that the opposites can exist together in harmony and enhance the existence of each other. Haven't seen much of that in effect in some political situations, but maybe everybody just needs to be reminded that all people's opinions, or most, are of importance, and both sides need to be open-minded. That's the meaning of the yin and yang symbol. So. And the idea behind it. Now, look at this. This is a really nicely done. It can, look at the way this is actually carved, both these types of jade, and you have a nice 14 karat bail and frame there. Price on this entire piece. Now, I had no idea how to weigh the gold separate from the jade, but I knew that if I put a price of only $68 with the 14 karat frame, $68. Yeah, awesome. I mean, Latif is at the wheel now, and he is, I'm sure, shaking his head. I'm glad I can't see him. He is on the other side of the sound curtains. So, yeah, $68. That better not still be in my possession, and or else I'm going to really worry about some of all your decision making, because I like the symbol, the meaning of the symbol in itself. It's a neat, simple, clean line piece and has been around for a very long time. Now, this next item, 1098923, 1098923, has also been, the idea has also been around for a long, long time. Ruby, sapphire, and emerald, known as the Three Kings. The Three Kings. And look at the ruby as well. It was pretty amazing. Now, I had actually owned a number of these rubies, and they were all Burma. Burma rubies look very much in color to this one, and it's certainly not Thai, and I wouldn't really know what, it's certainly not an Indian ruby. You know, Mozambique, maybe. This piece and this estate really go back prior to the discovery of rubies in Mozambique. So, you know, through things like that and dating it, historical dating is how so many times you can come up with origin without doing a scientific test on something, if you just know some history of stones themselves. The baguette sapphire is very cool. The emerald's very cool. This is a 14 karat gold piece. The bail slides right through where the green tag is, and you can see it can accept quite a large size bail. So this is a neat piece. The Three Kings is how these three stones are known in Asia, and especially in Thailand and Burma and that part of Asia, because of the royalty assigned to the three most precious gems of the gemstone world. And that, of course, is ruby, sapphire, and emerald. Price on this entire piece. Think of a price in your head, and then when I tell you the price that it actually is, it should certainly sound like a bargain to you. Now remember, there's going to be a gold weight and there's a value to that ruby. That ruby is a really nice stone, and the design of the whole piece is beautiful to say the least. So in 3.40 grams, wow. So have you seen what gold has been doing? And if you plot the chart, it's been really a nice upward climb. And it continues to do so. So here is your opportunity. And you could normally see a piece like that for $500-600 easily. But instead, I want to make sure that everything I show finds a wonderful home. And that's why I am going to make this only $198. $198 on that. Yeah. Now, that is value. Value, value, value. And now, let's keep moving. This next item, I loved. 1098723. 1098723. I love the silver work, and I love the stone amber. Amber! And I just watched another Jurassic Park movie, and every time I do, of course, amber always comes to mind, and it was the Dominion one where they were actually down in the old amber mine they mentioned, and I only wish amber mining looked like the way they depicted it, but not quite so, but nevertheless, any time you get a mention of gems and mines and amber or anything like that, it's always good. It gets it out there to the public. And so the whole concept of the Jurassic Park and the mining thing is, and fossils and all, is so, you know, kind of related to my hobby. And there was someone coming through gem shopping quite a while back that randomly was asking people what their favorite movie was. And so they came up to me, and, you know, you had to just answer real quick without thought. And they said, Shawn, what's your favorite movie? We're taking a poll. And I instantly said, Jurassic Park. And he stopped for a moment, thought, he goes, ugh. He goes, did I really even need to ask? He goes, of course it would be. Of course, because the very first one was where they found the big piece of amber and made that cane. Oh, I have lusted after that cane with that amber, polished piece of amber with the mosquito in it. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think so, and deserving of it, me. So anyone find anything like that, think of me. And it'd be okay if you had a cane made for me out of it. All right, look at this. Look at the size of this. Look at these beautiful, beautiful amber. This amber from the Baltic area is where the majority of amber, a lot of the quality amber still is found and comes from. These happen to be really nice quality. I don't see any spangles in these, which I like. Spangles are those little reflective discs that is found in amber that has been heat treated. Now these may be too small for them to really be show up. What it does, heat treating amber does, is it raises the temperature of it to where it clarifies often a milky amber, which a lot of it is found in a milky type color. So it is very effective for doing that. This is a nice heavyweight piece. It actually is an older estate piece, and it has some beautiful, just perfect oxidation on it, tarnish on it. And what I did, it was actually all tarnished. I just highlighted and polished off some of the highlight areas that you can see to highlight some of the silver. And I thought it really, really sharpened the whole look. You can see the actual original tarnish was this dark color back behind there. Okay, so big, nice, beautiful, bold piece, and would make a wonderful gift as well for someone. Price on this, only $68. Only $68. It can take a cord, it can take gold, you can put it on so many other different items by way of a chain, and it is really sturdy and well made. Let me see here. So let me just put this right up against here for the moment. And you can be looking at it while I get the next item. Of course, this is where a guy doesn't do very well, and a woman can just put it up there the very first time and it stay perfect. Okay, now, let's see, let me put, all right, now, what I'm getting ready to show you next is something that, whew, well, especially if you're August birthstone, but even if not, this is stunning. 1098023. 1098023. This is, well, I'll let the piece speak for itself. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the center peridot. It's round and it is cut incredibly well. It is something that I wish I could say I cut. The entire piece is just sparkly. And so you have diamond accents around it. 20 points, look at all those. Of course, very conservative by way of weight. I didn't have an exact weight. And the same thing with the stones. Very conservative with the weight overall. But look at that. Look at that middle stone. And for peridot, it's a very clean, look at that, peridot often has inclusions in it, but by way of inclusions, very, very few for this stone, especially the size of the center stone. Rounds, not often cut in this material. But look at that. Look at that. Look at the size of that. That is an attractive piece. A lot of gold in it. It has a nice large bail that's soldered closed. You can do all kinds of other things if you don't want it as this style pendant. With the rings that are there, they're easy to change out and to create something else with it. Or you can take out the middle stone. And, you know, Raven is holding on to a cache of Ethiopian opal that she has not cut. I got a whole bunch of beautiful Ethiopian opal. First thing I do, I think I cut it all in a week. Well, she's had it for years, and she will not get it out and cut it. I've showed her, she's cut some cabs, and I don't know what her deal is, but I you know, there's some great stones that she has, because I know I was helping her pick them out at the time, and yeah, this is a good one, this is a good one. And then she ended up with the good ones, and I ended up with the not so good ones, and she will not get her stash out. She's like that. But like she said, I still have mine to cut, you don't, you cut all yours. And that's what you get when you have a family of gem cutters. So, well, she's still learning. All right, here is opportunity pricing, because this piece, which could easily, for the size and quality of the peridot, you could expect, you know, a price of $1,500 to $2,000, but $777 is all on this. And like I said originally, you know, estate items, you expect estate items to be less than the market value. Well, so many times estate, meaning previously owned, end up to be really priced higher in the market than they should be. And I, of course, having jewelry stores in an estate district and in an antique district, where is the difference between estate and antique? Remember, estate is just previously owned, antique is older. I still honor the fact that in an estate piece of jewelry or anything else, you should be able to get it for less than the market price. But there is such a demand for estate and antique jewelry that it really has driven up the value of some of the estate pieces. So, all right, what I'm going to show you next comes with a story, and it's a great story. So this is going to be item 1099023, 1099023, and look at this. Now, first, I'm just going to show you the bracelet, but there's something more than the bracelet. Okay, look at this beautiful bracelet. Now, a lot of people commented about the silver bracelets I showed from last week, and they are remarkable. They can't be shortened or anything like that. So, but the price on them is, well, crazy inexpensive. So look at this. This is a heavy-duty, kind of what they call a anchor chain, because the chain looks like the type they use for an anchor, but it has a design on it. It has a nice, heavy, large clasp. It's 8 inches long. Now, this is the way I got it. And it came with one charm, but it is a special charm. Let me show it to you from the back first. And as Dave zooms in right here, it'll explain so much more. Atocha 1622. Here also is the hallmark of the person that is the licensed person that is associated with them in making these pieces. And then this silver mark. And here, the 1622 is the year that the Atocha. Now, the Atocha, if you're not familiar, not sure where you've been, but Mel Fisher searched for it for 16 years, and it was the ship that carried the majority of the Spanish wealth that was mined in South America, with the silver coming from what is now Bolivia, but at the time I think it was in Peru. And that was the largest amount of silver bars that had ever been discovered. There were only 121 gold coins. There were a lot of silver reals, pieces of 8 that were discovered. 1622 was the year that the hurricane struck the fleet of 28 vessels headed back to Spain with the booty. The Atocha, which was, people ask, what does Atocha mean? Well, Atocha is actually a type of grass that grew in Africa and in... yeah, well, this is a charm, and I'm going to show you the other side in a moment.
Is that the right number? Because there's one that says charm.
They both... Oh, there's a separate one. There's another one.
This isn't part of the bracelet.
Yeah, this is part of the bracelet. It's a charm that goes on the bracelet. And then there's a gold one I'm going to show in a moment. So you'll see that in a moment. So 1622 is the year the hurricane hit the fleet, sunk the Atocha, and it was at 55-foot depth, and no one else they couldn't dive and get down, of course, in the year to recover it. Another hurricane came and swept more of the material away. Mel Fisher lost a son in his search. He certainly was well-deserved in finding it. All right, so what they did was they took silver from the silver bars that were actually found. They alloyed it to come up with sterling silver. Sterling silver is 0.925, in other words, 92.5% pure silver. And in honoring, and it seems a big part of the Spanish, let me see how I would put that. The belief of the Spanish fleet put their faith in Christianity. And this, the Christ with the crown of thorns, was a design that lay heavily in many of their other items. So this, in honoring that, was a piece created and a charm created, and this happened to be put on the bracelet. So the charms were being sold separately, and I have priced the entire piece at less than you could ever find something like this. And as a matter of fact, these charms are very collectible now because they're just not available like they were decades ago after the discovery. So this piece, this amazing historical piece, because this actually has silver from the Atocha itself, is only $88 with the charm, with the bracelet and the charm, only $88. Now, if you don't want the charm, you can take the charm off, give it away, do whatever else you want with it, and you still have this stunning bracelet, which is men's or ladies. And as you can see, it's very masculine. And of course, ladies, you can wear anything us guys can. There's no limit to switching that around. But this is actually very collectible. Now, let me show you. There is the sterling silver version. Let's look at 1099123. 1099123. And they took, of course, there were very few gold coins, but there were gold bars. And with that gold, they alloyed it to 14 karat and created a 14 karat gold charm. Now, if you actually look at these two, they're not a mold of one of the other. They are actually completely different, and which is pretty cool. So they have a similar yet a different look, and again, hallmarked, 14 karat stamp, Atocha 1622. And these are the ones, when you have that hallmark, if you can't see it, what it is it's an S over what looks like a Celtic cross. So you can see that right there. So that's the actual hallmark, official hallmark of the acceptable people that could work with and manufacture this material. There is the piece. Price on the gold one, I could not even find, I could see where they had made these, but as far as in the entire world of the internet, I saw a silver one that had been offered, it was sold. There was no available silver ones, and I never even saw an available gold one. That tells me that there's just none out there, and anybody that got one, they're hanging on to them. Again, I would not have these available if they did not come to me through an estate. And that is the only way things like this end up popping up as years and years go on. And that's, the only way you find them. This allowing for nothing for the value that they attributed to the Atocha, which would have been considerable, is only $388. $388. And with the markings on the back, and you can reference that and look it up yourself. And you can find information out about them, but you will not find any for sale. And that is just told me a lot. So it told me that I shouldn't sell it, is what it really told me. But you know me, I'm going to offer all of these incredible opportunities to all of you. And if you pass them up, then at least I did it, and then it goes back into a collection of mine, which, hey, over decades and decades, nothing wrong with, other members of my family said, oh, you only have rocks to retire with. Anyway, we won't go into that. But you know what? You work and deal with what you know. And this is what I know. I know jewelry, I know collectibles, I know gemstones. And with that knowledge, well, you can end up coming up with neat jewels like this. All right, take advantage of that. Now, yep, let me put up these items. I'll be right back. Look at this. Again, so we go back to Myanmar jadeite. Myanmar, of course, is the word that the Burmese people changed the name of the country back to after British occupation ended. And but I often will also include the word Burma because a lot of people still don't really know Myanmar is Burma, and Sri Lanka is Ceylon, and Mumbai is Bombay, and it goes on and on. All right. This is Burmese jadeite, or Myanmar, and the really neat thing is that it is a really beautiful light lavender. Also, when you look at jadeite, there is many pieces of jadeite that have been dyed, but there's always often a tell, in other words, a sign that it has been. And it is the fact that dye tends to concentrate in any openings, crevices, flaws, anything like that in a stone. So you end up to get these darker colors. And if the colors are all even like you're seeing in this, then it's a natural color stone. This is the kind of color that they pretty much leave alone. And it's great because I believe in natural colors. So with the amethyst added to it, it kind of ties the whole thing in together by way of the color. And you can see this color against this white, that there is a nice, beautiful light lavender to it. Now, you also have diamonds going around this piece. Look how the nice large size that it is. It also has a bail an enhancer bail, so you can clip that right over the middle of a strand of pearls or a chain that may have a big catch. Wonderfully done. Wonderfully done. 14 karat gold, really shows off well. And again, price on this, these pieces, when you get them in a estate, so no labor is ever accounted for as part of it. So it really saves you a lot. And again, like I said, estate to me means less than what you would pay normally. Price on this piece, only $278. $278. And what a wonderful piece all the way around. So, you know, again, if you calculate the weight of the diamonds, you're going to come up with higher than what they are. I just am conservative all along the way to make sure you get more than less by way of these figures and calculations. Now, oh, by the way, let me just show you a quick picture, because if you hadn't gotten your recent Rock and Gem, I'm just going to flash this because I want to show you. Look at the quartz. Look at the quartz crystals on this. This is the picture of the front page of Rock and Gem. Get it. Support the hobby. Look at that. Okay, beautiful. Look at, see the crystals here? Rose quartz, pink quartz. I call it pink quartz when it's crystalline. I'm showing you that because the size of that makes it look so big. So I actually looked the size of it, and it is only a couple inches, which means that that specimen and those crystals are very similar to that stunning pink quartz crystal cluster that I sold, that I think Miss Gabby has now, and even the growth of those crystals. So I wouldn't be surprised if it actually didn't say where it came from, which most likely it looks like it probably came from the same place that the one that mine did. Some of the crystal growth very similar, but it's neat that they're covering that the way they are. Yes, price on this, it was only $278. $278 on that one. All right, so then I saw that and I said, before I went any further, I wanted to show you the picture of that. Okay, so let me get these items cleaned up, straightened up, back in the right bags. I'll be right back. Okay, I have one of the coolest things, and you know, Raven loved this piece. I actually loved it, and of course I'm a guy, so I can't wear it, but look at this, look at this. I mean, they almost look like tanzanites, but chrome diopside, and genuine white zircons. I of course looked at these carefully. They have the strong double refraction that zircon is supposed to have, so yeah, white zircons, chrome diopside. It is really beautiful. It is actually very well made. Double figure 8 safeties. It is I think it was 7 1/4 inches long. I know that's important, so let me, 7 inches. 7 inches long, and simply striking. I really like the color. Now, pieces like this, I actually looked up from my source what individual chrome diopsides would cost in that size and that quality. And the quality, very, very nice, very, very clean. And when I multiplied it out times the number of them, wow, it was going to be a lot of money. But as an estate piece, I have dropped that price, made it affordable. It's only $188, $188, and it is very well worth it. Now, when I have 10 karat total weight in diopside's heavy. I don't see any way how there couldn't be a lot more than that. But again, being very conservative for you, you can figure the weight. I know that no matter what, it's going to be more than, which is better than, less than. Really attractive piece, only $188. Now, talk about attractive. I have not had one of these in a long time. I actually set this ring up. Now, I didn't make the mounting, but I set it up. But because I set it up, it's not truly a Shawn made, so I didn't sign it, but I did completely set the piece. Let's look at 1099823. 1099823, and this is a well, like I said, I have not had anything this attractive in quite some time. This is Uruguayan, and it is the real deal. Check this out. Look at this amethyst. This is stunning, and it is the quality in amethyst that you haven't seen in a long, long time. Look at the red flash, the blue. Look at the blue and red flashes coming out of this, and then look at the little smaller amethyst. You get that same. Look at the blue coming out of those. That big amethyst, Uruguayan material, really, really saturated in color. Now, is if we're able to, which I don't know if Dave can, but if we go in closer on this, you can actually look through the side, and this is important. You want to see what is in the stone. You want confirmation that it is not one of these many lab-created stones out there. And what you have, and if we can't show you now, you can look at it at home. You can see some zoning going through the edge when you look at it from the a diagonal view. Maybe we could, let me try this larger loop that I have and see if we can't take you inside that world, which may not be quite possible to do. Yeah, there you go. Let's do it without this then. Oh yeah, there we go. We got it, Dave. Now just, can you focus on that? Because I see the zoning right there. Yeah, okay, so let me just show everybody. There is zoning right in the side portion there. So that's where you look when you get it at home. Look at that intensity. Here's the other really cool thing. These are white sapphires. White sapphires. And with magnification, you can actually see, they're very clean, but you can see inclusions that are indicative of the fact that they're sapphires. Now, white sapphires, believe it or not, are not inexpensive. They were very expensive. I remember when I had to get these to complete the ring for her, my jaw just dropped. I'm going to tell you how much they were. They came in a parcel. They were $300 a carat, and that was a wholesale price from a wholesale to wholesaler, and it's from a very large, well-known company, and they were the only ones that had them in stock. So, to give you an idea, these stones, if they were, if they weighed, well, sapphire is going to be heavier, but let's just round it to whatever, 10 points. If they were 10 points each, at $300 a carat, that would be $30 a stone. $30 for each white sapphire. White sapphire, remember, is the purest form of aluminum oxide. It is the other impurities of other, like chromium makes Al2O3 instead of white, it makes it red, the color of ruby. You know, you have titanium and iron that create the colors in sapphire, the blue colors, and other impurities for the other colors. So to actually get one in white without impurities, that's rare. So here, let me show you. All right, this is probably, I always made her rings around size 10 1/4. It's got the balancing beads, which are really effective. I cannot tell you how effective those are to keep a ring from turning on the finger. Look at the weight, look at the gallery. This is a stunning ring. If it's your February birthstone, oh, what a birthstone that would make. Look at that look. Wow, look at that. Now, here is the chance of a lifetime if you want one of the finest amethysts. These amethysts in this quality, you know, you have seen these being offered. I have seen them being offered right here at Gem Shopping for $100 a carat. $100 a carat. And they were selling left and right, because there's so much lab created material in the market. Then when you get the good stuff and you have the inclusions and the zoning in it to prove it's a natural stone, and you have that kind of color and saturation, you have, look at the blue and the red flash, that's everything you want. Everything you want. Then in that color, go find another one. Maybe you can find one less than 100 a carat, but you can do that right here, right now. This entire ring, so 7 carats in the 10 stones. So the way I figured, this actually figured and calculated out the center to around a 6 carat. And there's about a carat of other amethyst, so a 6 carat. So let's say that center stone with the would be, you know, $600. You have the sapphires, and we're talking cost here. So the sapphires with that many stones would be another $300, so that's $900. Look at the weight of the gold. The weight of the gold is considerable. Even backing out for the weight of the center stone. So you have 10 grams, let's take off even 2 grams. So you have 8 grams of gold. Cost in 14 karat of 8 grams of gold is around $33 a gram or so. So you have 275 in gold. You have 300 in sapphires, that's 575 in the tanzanite. You see where I'm going with this? So I mean in the tanzanite, yeah, the intensity. In the amethyst, let's say at 50 a carat, you have another $350. So already you're well in the $1,000 plus range. This is, and that's without the labor of setting it, etc. This piece right now, $777. $777, and it's one of those. Go find another one. You know, with the white sapphires, I'd rather have white sapphires than diamonds every day. Every day. That is something rare, much more rare than diamonds. Very, very collectible. All right, now let me show you another quartz family gem, 1098523. 1098523. So let's take you from the world of fine amethyst to, well, the world of its fellow member, citrine. Look at these. Look at these 2 pieces. Look at these 2 pieces. So, you know me, I looked at that citrine really carefully, and it has absolutely all the goodies I wanted to see to prove to me that it was not a lab-grown citrine, that it is a natural citrine. Look at these citrines on the side. This is a 14, look how heavy, 10 grams, about the same weight as the other. Look at how beautiful that is. There's 30 diamonds. Look at the gallery. Look at that incredible under gallery like that. What an attractive piece that is. And also you have a concave cut crown right there in a square cushion, one of my favorite shapes. So that concave cut crown really giving it a lot of brilliance. Look at that on the finger. Even rings like this will look good on the index finger. You know, any finger. You can just, you really can. So now, price on this one. Well, you saw the opportunity on the amethyst, and you've got an equal opportunity on this piece at a price of only, why not? That's a lot of gold in that piece. I am going to make this only $788. $788. $788. So the amethyst was $777. This was $778. Look at those. 2 of the finest colors, especially that amethyst is outrageous. That citrine is a beautiful, beautiful golden yellow, and a beautiful ring all the way around. Okay, now let's look at 11 00023. 110023. I am going to show you a fun opportunity. A fun opportunity. And one of my really favorite gems for so many different reasons. Yeah, iolite. Iolite, looking very much like sapphire. That's why one of its other names, remember we did a trivia contest question of all the names of iolite. You have iolite, dichroite for dichroism, the way it changes color in the direction you look at it. One other name is water sapphire. Another name is Viking stone. Another name is cordierite. So you have 5 different names right there. Now, look at that. Look at these stones, very well matched. And then when you look at them from a different angle, iolite will look, as you can see, like in that one, almost a clearish tan color. So they change color in 3 different directions. These are clean iolites. And for iolite, especially in this size, the color is a very saturated, strong color. Sterling silver and let's see if could you take the white zircon information out of there, please? I'm sorry, I'll have them do that also. Yeah, the white zircon information on that. I must have cloned it from the other piece. Thank you, sir. And there we go, perfect. And this, bless you, this has a really good safety catch with the double figure 8 safety on there. And it has a 7 1/4 inch total length to it. Now, price on this, only on this one, $178. I, again, looked these stones up individually, how much, and this is my discount gem source, so it gives me some idea of what these go for in a retail market. And wow, I was quite shocked at how much they charge for stones like that in an individual basis. So if you want to get a crazy, crazy deal and opportunity, here it is waiting for you right there. Now, let me keep going as the clock is ticking down on me. Let's look at, let's look at 1098123. 1098123. Let me see and get this out. Oh, look what I came across. Now, I noticed when I had the rutilated quartz piece that somebody, no one has admitted who got it, but somebody was very fortunate and bought it. Look at what I found. An amethyst perfume bottle. Amethyst. Now, by way of perfume bottles, I mean, these technically are decorative. They're decorative as opposed to really functional. But the cap does come out and you can put a little perfume there, and if you wanted to play around with it and use that to dab, you could. But I think they're mostly decorative. Look at the carving and engraving, actually. It's not actually engraved down in there. This is actually in relief. So everything's been carved away from them, bringing out the design, and it is done on both sides. This is iris quartz. You have some wonderful reflections of rainbows in this quartz. And this is one, I saw a lot of different water inclusions in it, and it would be one to have fun to search for any potential in hydro bubbles in it as well. This is the only one I've ever seen like it. And you know, like that rutilated quartz one, which was simply stunning. I have a fantastic opportunity when you figure the sheer weight of it against the price. Wow. Only $88 on that. $88. It is hand carved, has a black onyx top, which fits really nicely. And when you look at a weight of 180 carats, if that's what, let me see what Yeah, 190 carats. So 190 carats, you're looking at, 50, less than 40 cents a carat, something like that. That's a real jewel. That is a real jewel. And again, with the additional engraving on it, adds value as well. Let me show you something I made. 1097923. 1097923. Now, remember my the days of when I was a really prolific bench goldsmith. I made some amazing items in a period of a few years, and this is one of them. Now, I noticed a lot of you didn't take advantage of some of those pieces I had offered and made before, but maybe this is the one you've been waiting for. This is a stunning freshwater pearl, and these are some of the most remarkable sapphires you will ever see. Look at those, and then flanked by diamonds. This is a beautiful decorative pin pendant combination, and you can see as we come in on the piece right here, my initials with the year in between of 98 that I had made that. So, like I said, one of the tells of my signature is if it's ever really neat, it's a knockoff. It's not mine, because I hand inscribe my initials with a high-speed diamond tip, and they always being left-handed and never being able to write nicely no matter what anyway. But that's how you know it's always my signature, is it never looks too pretty. Look at those sapphires. Look at those sapphires. If you were to rank sapphires for color against value and against desirability, and they've done this, you will get the majority of the population will pick this color range, right in that color range. So that is some of the most valuable sapphire. These have just a couple little small inclusions. I had to make sure they were not kyanite. So I did a hardness test. That's how I did it. And a hardness test told me that they exceeded the hardness of kyanite and therefore could only be sapphire. Because I have never seen anything that beautiful blue except sapphire, or actually kyanite in that range as well. Maybe bonitoite. Actually, I didn't check them for bonitoite. I don't remember ever setting bonitoite up for her, but she had the wherewithal that if she wanted, she could certainly have afforded it. Okay, so this is one of the few pieces I have that I had created. $888. $888. These big freshwater pearls like that are not inexpensive, and they contribute a lot of value to the piece. Yet in this particular piece, I didn't add anything for labor or anything for the real value of the pearl and the sapphires. Now, we have moments, but enough, that I am going to get to some items here that I think throughout the holiday must have caught some of you off guard, and you must have had your eyes closed. So let's go over a couple of these. Item 1089222, because after this, I am going to be putting these in another. Oh yes, sir. 1089222. So, like this particular ring. This particular ring, I was real surprised no one took advantage of it. It is moldavite. It is moldavite. It is a large moldavite, which adds rarity to it, and it is extremely rare because it is found nowhere but one place, and as they continue to mine it out, there becomes less and less of it. Look at all the gold in this. It's from the Bohemian region, of course, which is southern Germany into the Czech Republic, and this is very rare in the larger they go. Price on this, none of these prices will ever be less than what they are. There will be more if you see them in other venues, though. This is in the South Bohemian region, of course, the Reese crater. 15 million years ago, a meteor slammed into the Earth, sending and ejecting material up into the outer atmosphere, and then it still came back down to the Earth in a strewn field. And when it did so, they convert silica into a tektite material, and in the case of moldavite, it is a beautiful green, facet grade quality. You can determine it's natural through wavy lines like glass has, and also bubbles. Also, there'll be some inclusions gathered up from the ejected material as it was melted also. This is only $588, and the chance of a lifetime to be able to get that big of a ring, that big of a stone, you do well just to get the stone if you were lucky enough to come across something that large. Now, I had shown you some gold chains. If you don't want the chains, I am going to move those on. But here is another surprise. Item number 1088, wait, that rubbed off, 1088122. Now, we had some people that were interested in emeralds, and I have these tremendous emerald bracelets. So here is one of those beautiful, beautiful bracelets. Has diamond accents with it, and these stones have a really lovely, lovely color, a classic color for being Colombian gems, and with the diamond accents to it, a wonderful, bright, lively piece. Now, I actually set these. I didn't design the mounting. We got the mounting, and I got the stones, and I set up. $1,288 on that. Only $1,288 on that piece. And now, there is some other emerald bracelets that, like for this, for example, this one, 10888322, 10888322, and this piece is only $888, $888, a completely different design, and it has Tsavorite. So look at the difference in the color between Tsavorite, and you have emerald and Tsavorite. So quite a difference in greens, but green nonetheless, and a wonderful, unique design to that. As we look a little closer at these, you can see the difference. Again, talking about green and the difficulty in actually photographing green and capturing the actual differences in colors of green. Very, very difficult. Price on this one, only $888. $888. There's a lot of gold in that.
Are you sure the 881 alone?
Yes. Thank you. I meant to do that. I usually always do that, as a matter of fact. But there are so many others I want to get to here. So $888. Now, the last, let me show you one more emerald item. It is item 10888022. And this gives you a fantastic look for very little. and the price on it is going to be only $688. Look at this. Now we'll remove the Sabarite piece. Look at that. Look at that. That is wonderful. They're buff tops, okay? So they look faceted all the way. So buff top, you can see, is actually a cabochon top. It's not faceted, but it's a faceted pavilion. So you get a really nice bright look. The nice thing about the buff tops is basically you're not going to be scratching or chipping the table. It really is a way to protect the stone in a way, and you still get a lot of brilliance. So here is the one that was $1288 on the left, and then the one without the diamonds, only $688, which is a wonderful, wonderful value. You get the same kind of color, and well, it's about half the price, which is a huge, huge difference without giving up too much of the look. Now, there were many other items, but let me show you this one, 10-86922, 10-86922, and this guy, I love this piece. This is really, really attractive. Look at those amethysts. Look at the briolets. And then look at the peridots. This is quite different. Very different, actually. And that's okay. For $288, I could easily see that someone saying that was twice as much. And I would think it's a great value at that. $288 on that. And that was a surprise that I still had. Now, time isn't going to allow me to get to all the other items that I wanted to show you, but there was this one in particular, 10-90322, 10-90322. This next one, this is where I think that some of you, over the confusion of the holiday, may not have even caught the show, because this next piece is a stone that goes back, thousands of years for its popularity, use, and how it was well known to the ancient world. Lapis, look at that. So you have a double-sided lapis piece, and it is a 14 karat gold. 14 karat gold. $68. I kid you not. $68. And very well detailed in the carving of it. And of course, the item that is carved is going to have a meaning. Very meaningful. I'll leave it up to you to look that up. For $68, that will bring you lots of good fortune. I had gold chains. I had two beautiful pearl necklaces that you didn't seem too interested in, but let me show you this piece. This is item number 10-88522. This was a real shocker to me that it didn't sell. It's men's or ladies, but it is a tremendously attractive men's ring. Let me take my ruby ring off. And where are you going to find another? Look at this iolite piece. Look at that ring. Look at the diamonds down the side. Look at how large that natural stone is, protected in a way that you want it to be as a man's ring. Look at the diamonds on the side. Iolite. I love iolite. Look at the gallery. Look at that design. And here is the most amazing thing, why I think some of you missed the show altogether. $588. Let's see. Let me give you the right item number there, because the information, it is 1086522. And to get an iolite that large, thank you, and look at the gram weight, and I love the cut. There is everything about, look at the weight, look at that, about this ring as a man's ring in an iolite, or a lady's ring, of course. That for $588. $588. Wow. All right, now with a moment we have left, I did not even get to carvings that I wanted to feature for you. But wait, I think there is one. I think there is one, which was a real shocker that I don't remember and having shown this, but I couldn't believe that it did not sell. This is item number, let me read this. This is item, sorry about that, number 1092722. And maybe I didn't, because it should have sold. It should have sold. Look at this. This is carved from one piece of serpentine. This is stunning. Look at how beautiful this is. You could use this as a, look at this, as a base to put another crystal specimen on, to put a vase. You can hang it up on the wall. You have a design of dragons in this. And look, it is double-sided. Stunning. And this is really what's unbelievable. $98. $98 for all of that work. That is probably of everything, really, the deal. The deal. All right, time for just the last item of the show. There are so many pieces I could pick for that, but it's almost impossible to choose. But if you didn't like the gold chains, let me show you something that you can never go wrong with. Item 1085722. 1085722. And this would go with several other pieces that we showed you, that I showed you today. And look at that. Look at that. That is amethyst, Brazilian amethyst all the way. Look at that, no gap between the side stones and the center. That's the way I always liked to make and create my pieces. And here is the other crazy part, and why I think a lot of you missed the show altogether. So I probably should refeature a lot of these others. $288. 208. You couldn't buy just the amethyst for that. This is a 18 karat. No, 14 karat. I was going to say. 14? Yeah, 14 karat. I was going to have to take it back from everybody. 14 karat gold ring and large trillions, a wonderful, wonderful mounting. Look at how beautiful that is. For only $288. Again, try to get just the amethyst for that. That's a wonderful, wonderful setting. Okay, many other things I could show you, but the clock is run down on us, and one last one. I meant to show this. Thank you, sir. 1084922. 1084922. For those of you that wanted a choice in a moldavite, I have your other choice. Take a look. Take a look. Who would have two beautiful moldavite pieces? Look at this. What a colorful basket. It's going to be spring before long, and that ring says everything about life and beauty. Look at all those colors. Look at that, and look at that moldavite. And the price, $388 is it. $388. You couldn't get just the moldavite normally for that. And this is not sterling silver, which is hard to believe that price is, 14 karat gold. 14 karat gold, $388. With all these other genuine stones, which I have listed for you so you know what they are in the information on the tag. With that, we're going to close it out and be right back with the trivia questions. Wow. And to be able to show you more items, the way, to give you an idea, so the way I found they gave me these items from inventory, which they were going to end up throwing away, but you know, anything you're going to throw away, give it to Shawn first because he'll find a use for it, right? And I did, so I put the ring on here. So anyway, point being is, if all they had to do was tilt the camera down a little bit and you would see a whole big pile of mess, because the time it takes to put it all back on there is less time I have to show you something cool. And by the way, if there was any scratchiness on that you heard from your end, I apologize. It is completely my fault and my hair's fault. See, my hair gets around like this, around the microphone, and starts rubbing against it, and I don't know, and of course I'm a hand talker and I'm moving all around, and I'm sure I'm much to Asa's distress that it doesn't sound right on your end, so we don't like that. I don't like that, and so I apologize for that. That's my fault. I was talking about cutting some of the hair off this morning, actually. It grows back so fast, but okay. Now, I have, look at this, okay? So see all this? See all that? Those are just items that came back from just the last show or two. And there are so many items in there that are so inexpensive. I really think that you guys missed a show or something, because I was real surprised. I didn't even get to really some of the inexpensive things. There's the other of those perfume bottles, really cool ones in there that you didn't buy. I mean, they're like $38, kind of didn't buy. But anyway, maybe we'll get to other shows. There's so much I have coming in the pipeline to show you that to show you stuff I've already shown you is not something I really want to do. But I feel like you guys just missed out on some stuff. So we'll see if we can't slide it in over time. The moldavite rings. Wow. I mean, they're gold. If nothing else, tear the moldavite out, take the stones out, do something else with it. I mean it. I mean it. That's how inexpensive it was. Okay, ready? I have a couple easy ones for you. I'm going to take it a little easy on you now. 2 questions here. Used to be 1 question, so I made it a little harder, and we got to step it up. Got to step it up. We're going to have to, I'm going to do some more of those, except they'll be closer. I'm going to bring them in front of the camera, and more of the what am I kind of trivia questions, so that I can see how well you're doing on recognizing mineral specimens. I'm also going to get my crystal growing set going so that we can have some fun with that and learn from there as well. Okay, ready, set? Remember, no fast forward or rewinding. You can use all the notes you want to use, and everyone participate. There's no such thing as a wrong answer, or there's no embarrassment to it or anything. It's the only way that all of us are going to learn and learn this together. So yeah, just give it your best shot. And I don't consider any of them guesses. Any answer you have is just that. It's an answer, not a guess. Okay, ready, set? I mentioned one way to tell a natural zircon. I mentioned one way to tell what or if something is a natural zircon. And it's something that I mentioned. Of course, there's other ways you can tell, but it's one way I said that I mentioned. What way is that? What way is that I had mentioned how you tell a natural, what a natural zircon looks like? Okay, question number 2. In the gemstone world, there's a phrase called the 3 kings. What does that refer to? What are the 3 kings? I know, Asif. You got a better one? See, I should have gotten Asif. He always had some good.
Like, come on.
I know. Okay.
That can't be a trick.
Okay. You know what? That's great. Asif says that can't be because it's way too easy. He's right. I was.
You're embarrassing your.
I'm embarrassing myself as a teacher, because if you don't know that, then I haven't taught you anything.
You didn't teach them that. The world taught them that.
The world taught them that. You know what? Asif says that you should already know that in general. The world should have taught you by now what 3 kings refers to. Now, let's make that extra credit. I have another question for you, because I know all of you are going to get that right. Okay, now.
Name the rapper we featured last week with the grill. Name the rapper.
Really?
Yeah, name the rapper.
But I didn't mention that before.
They know.
They know?
They know.
The one with the pink diamond, or?
No, the one with the grill.
Okay.
The picture we showed.
Okay. You know what? Maybe they do.
That's the identifier.
That.
They got a close-up view last week.
Okay. This is Asif's question. So, say it, Asif, so I can repeat it.
Name the rapper whose picture we showed with the grill last week.
Name the rapper whose picture we showed with the grill last week. What was his name? Good luck. And you know what? If you guys get this one, I'm in the wrong business, and I'm not much of a teacher. Asif is. Asif is a really great teacher, and I do mean that.
Right, so I'm going to show the pictures just.
Okay, he's going to show a picture.
Hold on, give me a second.
Yep.
I'm going to find my
He's going to give you a little help.
Make sure it doesn't say the.
Right, Nate. That's right. Say the name. Okay. All right. Ready, set.
And yeah, quick look. All right,
Okay.
3,
Quick look.
2,
1. Boom. There it is. Wow. That was a quick look. Okay. I remember that now. You're right. That was a grill. Name who that rapper was. And
Yeah.
and after that, name the 3 kings. Y'all, I have so much fun. I start the show smiling. I end the show smiling. It doesn't get any better than that. God bless all of you. And, Asif is every bit a part of this show. And I wish he was sitting right here next to me, yucking it up, because that man is funny, talented, and a real sage. God bless. See you next week. Can't wait.